All right, good morning everyone. Welcome back to the live stream. We're over here working on our Trelino toilet box, custom toilet box for the van. So yesterday went ahead and took care of the paneling. So that's all been sanded, painted, and filled, all the nail holes and stuff like that. And pretty much the assembly was glue, pin nail, clamp, and then, sand up and true all the sides so everything looks really nice. So that part's done and this top part's done. So what I'm working on today is we're making the lid. So the lid, it's not that complicated, but it needs to do a couple different things. It needs to have this opening here so that it goes over the toilet. But it needs so that when you open it up and you sit down, your legs are not pinched over the side of pieces of wood. So it's for comfort. So I've already got it all prepped, ready for us to start showing you, or for me to start showing you what's going on. So I'm doing this a little upside down. So this part I'm going to glue and nail together. I just realized I forgot about this sticker. I hate these stickers. These barcode stickers, they're the hardest thing to get off. And then if you don't take them off cleanly, they scratch up your surface that you're working on. So let's see if I can chisel this thing off of here. Also yesterday, kind of behind the scenes, I mapped out my measurements for the electrical panel in the back of the van. Trying to figure out the simplest way to fabricate that. So now we got to get rid of all this adhesive. So give me 1 second, get this wood prepped. Perfect, okay. So I just used one of my favorite things in the shop. This has to be, I use this for everything on the van. I use it for like cleaning up before I paint, rust prevent, clean up. Denatured alcohol is just a great all around something to have in the shop. Okay. I think we did pretty good. I'm going to hit that one more time. Yeah, preparation is the key. Get everything prepped. Okay. Now we can get back to work. So we've got all of our pieces here, and I haven't given you an overview of the size of this. So the Trelino is 15 1/4 by 13 inches, and this box, the width of the box is this way. That's 24 inches. So that is, our fridge stack is 24. Pretty much it's a square, 24 by 24. And then the length of this is 21 inches. So 21 inches long, 24 inches wide. And the lid is 20 inches, 20 1/4 technically, by 20 3/4. And I did that on purpose. So the reason that I did that, and again, really got to do a lot of forward thinking when you're building vans. So my hinge, I'm not putting the hinge like this. I think that's kind of tacky. I don't think that's the right way to do it. So actually what I do is I get this tape. Man, there's so much tape on everything. Good Lord. Anyway, okay. So we have our bracket. So you take the hinge and then fold it into itself. And then this is going to be inset. So you get the actual piano hinge effect. It's nice and clean. It looks like that. Just got to make sure that if the one that you get, we need this to open up all the way like that. So that's actually going to work out for us. So we'll have this piece of wood come up like this. And the lid will be like that. So the plan is that it'll hold itself open. That's my plan. So we'll see if that happens. Yeah, so we need this gap here. So the way that I did that to measure is I took these two popsicle sticks. You can get them at Lowe's where the paint mixer is, or paint stirrer is. And then you fold the hinge over like this. And then that way this will define the gap. So everything is nice and perpendicular. And then without making this whole thing fall apart, let me see if I can go back. Take this, and then you can just clamp it to the side. And then and then you can take your measurement from there. And then we found that this measurement is, I think it was 1/8 of an inch, something like that. And so that gap is now sets our length. So we start from there and we come all the way to the end. Okay, and that's the end of our box. And then that's also important because we need to maintain it with this first piece of wood. So it goes just like that. And then, so it needs to be nice and clean. And then for visual aesthetics, this is the longer piece. So this is the front of the box. This is you walking into the van, and then the fridge stack is right here. So visually, instead of seeing these ends, now this is going to be painted, so you probably won't see it, but just in case, this is going to be the longer piece, and this goes over here. Now this is upside down. All right, since I'm teaching you guys, I'll do it the other way. Because I know if you're not doing woodworking, it might get confusing. Okay, so this is part of the lid. So this is going to go like that. This will come over here. And this is the front. Okay, so this will be perfect when we put this all together, but I'm just doing this so you guys can kind of see. This is the box. And so the hinge will be in this gap, and it'll open up. So this is an offset, this is flush. If we twist it around, this face is flush. And then if you notice back here, this is not flush. So the lid is flush, but this gap is here. So there's an 1/8 inch gap. So what I did on purpose is I don't want this to be perfectly up against the refrigerator stack. I don't want this to rub on the panel, the wall panel. So there's going to be this little opening. so that when it opens and closes, we always have clearance no matter what. So even if this drifts a little bit, it's not going to scratch into the fridge stack. And so in the back here, you'll have a little bit of a gap. You won't have it here, but you'll have it here, and that's just so it doesn't scratch anything over time. All right, since we got all this pretty much ready to go, we're going to take this off. Gonna get this back the way we had it, and we're going to start assembling it. And we're going to assemble it upside down, but you want to make sure that the way you cut your board, that if you flip it over, you're just making sure that everything's going to work correctly. So this will be the bottom, and then this will be, this will be the top, that'll be the bottom. So we just flipped it upside down. Let's see, I wanted that. Okay, we're going to do it like this. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and triple check that this is square in the way that I want it to be. Then I'm going to put some glue on here, and then we're going to take our drawer clamps and we're going to put these on the edge and get everything squared up, and then we'll put a couple pin nails in, and then I'll hold it while we're assembling everything. So So when I do my pinholes, I'm using this paint and patch lightweight spackle. It's really nice. It cures in 30 minutes, and it's kind of like this gritty texture. So it says you don't need to sand it, and what it means is you can actually kind of wipe it with your hand, and the excess will just kind of come right off. So it's been a pretty good product. The other thing that I'm going to do is, let's see, now I'm wondering if I want to assemble this a different way. And we'll just go for it. Because I want to have it clamped for squareness, but at the same time I need to nail it down. So and what I've learned is for small area stuff, so you've got a small surface area, it's not like a big piece of 2x4 like we were working with yesterday. It's good to distribute the glue around. Okay, I'm probably just going to pin nail this as I go. Everything's so, I don't have to use this to bend it kind of into submission. It's already pretty good. So we're just gonna go for it. Let's see that. This may not be the correct way to do this, but sometimes I just create my own way because it's what I think will work out better for me. So notice this one is a little bit long on the front. So we're going to have it come over the edge just a little bit, and that way we can sand it flush after we put the pin nail in. And I'm not worried about scratching up the paint because I'm going to sand this whole thing back down and do one more coat on it. And then we'll come back around and we'll do a final pass of the pin nails. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just taking a piece of metal and getting this extra. This glue dries so fast. This glue that I use. All right, so now flip it over and we'll just put a bunch of pin nails in. Okay, we got that exactly how we want it. So before we actually, so here's our lid. It's looking more like a lid now. All right, so I'm gonna take this over to the belt sander. I'm gonna get this flush. This side was a little long after everything got nailed into place. Okay, so let's start working on our hinge, mounting our hinge. Once again, we're getting all the adhesive off of this from packaging. Okay, I don't think that's good enough. So if you missed the last episode, what I did before was I took these and I actually cut them. So I snipped these off with some tin snips and then just sanded down the edges after I cut the pin with a hacksaw. And what that allows me to do is get this to be two 12-inch pieces I make so that I can make my own custom piano hinge for this. And to be honest, it works really well. Okay, so if I have it there, yep, I think it's going to work just fine. Okay. We're going to go get our punch down tool so we can locate these holes. Our center punch. And we're gonna, so I've got the hinge on here folded over, and I'm pretty much just trying to make sure that when I reference this side and make the holes, that when I flip it over to the other side, I can use that same reference for the other side. Just make sure that I can do that. All right, so this piece right here is going to be flush with the bottom of the wood. And I've already measured the length of the hinge. Now these, you really need these to be as accurate as possible. If you're off, then you need to discard that hole and then find another hole and then get all the other ones drilled and screwed and then come back and try to fix it. If you don't, it's going to mess up your, pretty much your alignment for your whole hinge. So. And also when you're using your drill, you're going to want to make sure that you have a safe torque setting set on your drill. So you seat them all the same and you don't overdo it. So just start low, and then you can go higher. I almost forgot. We're going to pre-drill these holes. Now we'll be putting the hinge on, and then we'll take the hinge off. So I'm not doing all the holes, I'm just doing this to do a test fit. So you can see how this was just slightly off. This hole is just slightly off, and it's pulling my hinge down. Okay, so it's not too bad. Just make sure our hinge still functions, and then we can keep going. And we want our cut ends to be meeting each other, the nice ends that are polished on the far end. Now remember, this one has this overhang right here, this gap. So this will come over this gap, but that's okay because it's going to rest on this one, but it's going to go over this one. And that's just because that space we wanted to have so that it doesn't scratch the fridge stack when we put everything together. I always forget to pre-drill until I hear the cracking. Okay, next, let's see how this is going to work. Putting this up here. Okay, so we need this to sit just like that. So we need some type of spacer. I think I want to get some more of these popsicle sticks, make a spacer for that to lay on. I do this now because I don't want to, after you've painted, you don't want to really start messing with anything, moving stuff around, because you're going to scratch up the paint that took you, a couple hours to do. that's actually, this stir stick is actually doing a good job. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Excellent. All right, that is great. So again, their hinge is the same location as the top hinge. And if you notice that the hinge is slightly higher and it's not perfect, you need to go with that slightly higher, not perfect, on the opposite side, because you don't want one lower than the other side. And again, just really try to make these perfect as you can. So I'm pretty much only putting in 2 screws per hinge for the test fit. Okay, this is a moment of truth, if we messed up or not. All right, guys, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. You're going to have, 32nd, 16th off, probably misalignment, just because of kind of the nature of building this box. But this is exactly what we were looking for. And even though, so this box was perfect and this lid was perfect, it's trying to get this hinge and bolting it on each side that's really what you got to dial in. So what I am going to do is this is going to have felt pads. So on the back and the front here, so it won't rattle when it's closed, but that's very hefty. I doubt that that's going to rattle. Also, we have a top pad for this. So this right here, like a jump seat. All right, let's put the Trelino in and let's see if everything works the way that we planned and we can get this into the van. All right, also, let's see if I can recreate the van wall. Or the wall of the van. Okay, so there's the wall of the van. So we hopefully, there you go. So that I'll be able to lean up just like that. Now we can take our toilet. It's just going to go just like that. Okay, and then so we have this recessed, as you can see, so that when you're in here, this is not part of your experience. So there's our toilet box. And then let's make sure we can still get, where's that toilet paper roll? So right here we still have room. Look at that. That is perfect. Let me twist this. Let's see. And still, we have a lot of storage down here. So this wasn't really anticipated. I didn't think there would be this much storage, but there's a ton of storage in here. Just additional storage for the van. And then so when you're done doing your thing, you can just fold this down. You've got ample clearance. And then we'll have the seating pad, or whatever it's going to be right there. Excellent. Perfect. All right. So happy with this. This backside looks really good. So now all we're going to do is we're going to get this, we're going to unbolt this lid. We're going to go and pre-drill all of our final holes. We're going to do that right now before everything gets out of square. And then off camera, we're going to paint this. So I'm just putting these paint sticks back here so we don't mess up our lid. Okay, all that is done. So let's go ahead and take this off. And like I said, heads up, I will not paint stuff with hinges on. I'll make sure I take them off, then put them back on. You don't want to have paint all over your hinge. It's not pro. We've got all of our got our holes pre-drilled. Now for orientation wise, we have our cutoff end, we have our rough end, so we know what hinge goes where when we put this back together. All right, so I'm gonna do a final sanding off camera. Go ahead and get this painted. This is what the inside of this looks like, if you guys are wondering. It's nice and simple. You do not want to, you don't want to put a piece here. It's not necessary. But that is the Trelino box. So it's going in. Takes 2 hours for this paint to dry. So we'll put this in 2 hours, and then we'll move on to our next part of the van. And we'll keep this project going. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I'm going live. If you guys have any questions, put those in the comments, and be happy to answer them in a future video. Actually, I didn't even check the comments today. Oh, this Trelino, it's a medium. I think this is a medium Trelino. Let's verify. See what Trelino this is. Trelino. Yeah, definitely not the large. Let's see what the medium dimensions are. 13, 14, 15. So 13, 14, so 13, 14, yep, so this is the medium. This is the medium size Trelino. Number of reasons that the medium size. So actually I think, so the medium, the height is what I needed to be. So John and Susan picked out the size, but the height is what I needed to be stable. So that was the 14 inches because you want it low enough so that you can use it, have this enclosure, but then still be able to sit on it. And the seating height for normal human sitting on a chair is about 18 inches. Like 18 to 20 inches is what you're going to find, like if you're in a diner, you know, chair, restaurant. So that's 14 inches. This is 14 and a half plus an eighth. So almost 5/8, 14 and 5/8. And then you're going to have 3 inches of cushion. So let's say that's 14 and a half, 15 and a half, 16 and a half, 17 and a half. So, 18. So this is going to be perfect. It's going to be very comfortable to sit on. Let's see what else here. Yeah, so hopefully that answered your question. Yeah, other than that, it's pretty much, this is good to go into the van. So I'm excited to check this off the list and get it in the van. I got a list of things I got to knock out in the next few days. So Yeah. Anyway, this came out great. If you guys are wanting to find out products that I use in the shop, you can check out the DIY Van Builder cheat sheet. So in the description below, there's a link to Van Builder HQ, and there's a link to the DIY Van Builder cheat sheet. So what that is a Excel sheet that I put together. It's over the last 3 years of all of my Amazon purchases. I just put them on an Excel sheet, organized them. It's about 250 items right now. And it's completely free for you guys to check out. There's all kinds of solar panels, switches, fuses, water system, like water pumps, PEX A crimpers, riv nut drill adapters for putting like rivets in your van, the threaded inserts. So stuff like that on that sheet, I think it'll be really helpful if you are doing your van build. Just starting off, you wanted something to reference parts that have actually come in the shop that I bought. So it's free. It's the DIY Van Build cheat sheet. You can check it out on vanbuilderhq.com, or you can click on the link in the description below. If you're looking to get a custom van conversion built by me, then my company is Odyssey Custom Vans. So you can go to odysseycustomvans.com. Link is also in the description below. And then if you go to odysseycustomvans.com, there is a link to schedule a phone consultation. So that's the best way to get in contact with me, because it goes in my calendar, and that way I can see it. While I'm working on something, I can go back and see if you guys scheduled a consultation. And I'd love to talk to you about your future van build. Later this year, there is some spots opening, so would love to have you guys as my next custom build. Yeah, if you have any questions, put those in the comments as well. I check those. And we are very past due on a video going through all of the comments, all the questions in the comments. So I've got a few days left on this build. When we get done in May, we'll get together, we'll do a video going through all those questions, because you guys have a lot of great questions. It's just pretty busy right now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the stream today. Check out the next live stream that we have coming up either this afternoon or tomorrow. We're going to continue taking care of John and Susan's van and get this box painted and move on to the next step of the project. So that's it. We'll see you guys in the next live stream.